All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 3 of the Education Abroad Fair. If this is your first fair session, welcome. I'll talk about how you can access some of the sessions from earlier this week at the end of the session. If you've already attended or watched some of the other fair sessions, I hope you found them engaging and informative. This morning, we're going to talk about some short-term programs for students in the Warner College of Natural Resources. When we say short-term, we're typically referring to shorter than a full semester. So most commonly programs held over summer, winter break, fall break, spring break, times like that. I'll do some introductions shortly, but I want to start with the CSU Land Acknowledgement. Colorado State University acknowledges with respect that the land we are on today is the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute nations and peoples. This was also a site of trade, gathering, and healing for numerous other Native tribes. We recognize the indigenous peoples as original stewards of this land and all the relatives within it. As these words of acknowledgement are spoken and heard, the ties nations have to their traditional homelands are renewed and reaffirmed. CSU was founded as a land grant institution, and we accept that our mission must encompass access to education and inclusion, and significantly, that our founding came at a dire cost to Native nations and peoples whose land this university was built upon. This acknowledgement is part of the education and inclusion we must practice in recognizing our institutional history, responsibility, and commitment. If you would like to turn this land acknowledgement into action, I would encourage you to reach out to the CSU Native American Cultural Center to learn more about how you can engage with, support, and advocate for Native tribes whose land we occupy. My name is Christopher Snodgrass. I'm an Education Abroad Coordinator, and I advise for the UK and Ireland and international internships. Joining me today is my colleague, George Agris, who will serve as the moderator for this session. Thanks for being here, George. Our webinar does not have a chat function, but there is a Q&A where you can post questions and interact with George. We'll end the session with a few minutes for questions, but feel free to post your questions as we go through the presentation as well. My pronouns are he, him, and his. I work with our risk management team, our scholarships and access team, and various other functions in our office as well. Before we get started into talking about Warner programs specifically, I want to talk about some myths to going abroad and hopefully bust some of those myths. So you may have already attended an Education Abroad 101. If you haven't, those presentations are happening every morning at 9 a.m. So tomorrow morning, there will be another Education Abroad 101 session. These sessions will provide an overview of education abroad at CSU, the skills you'll gain from education abroad, why it's important, and a breakdown of the different program types that you can engage with. For this session, we'll talk specifically about some programs that are recommended for your college and some myths about going abroad. So first things first, an education abroad experience really shouldn't delay your graduation. In fact, with good planning, it will enhance your degree, help you graduate on time, and in some cases, it may even help you graduate early. So if you're worried about going abroad, delaying your graduation, don't let that be a concern. Secondly, there's a myth that education abroad is more expensive than studying at CSU. Certainly, there are some more expensive programs. Sometimes this is the case, but many are priced similarly to the cost of attendance at CSU in a semester in Fort Collins, and some programs are even less expensive. So whatever your budget is to go abroad, come in and talk with us and we'll find a program that fits your budget. Thirdly, if you start early and talk to your academic advisor about going abroad, whatever course of study you're in at CSU, you'll be able to find course requirements while abroad, fulfill course requirements while abroad. These could be courses required for your major. They could be electives. We recommend getting started early, working with your academic advisor and our office to look at your degree requirements, what courses you need to take abroad, and we can help you find programs where those courses are available, or whatever course of study you're in. you can absolutely find courses relevant to your degree that will move you toward graduation while you're abroad. Lastly, I want to talk a little bit about our risk management team. I mentioned I'm part of that team. Certainly, we've had a busy time during the pandemic. We have an international risk manager who constantly monitors and communicates some of the challenges and risks that students may face while they're abroad. And by working together, we can foster responsible and successful experiences even during COVID. So let's talk a little bit about Warner students going abroad specifically. Here's a breakdown of the number of students in each major who've gone abroad just over the last few years. As you can see, students from every area of your college go abroad. While some students in some majors may go abroad more often, we have programs available to fit really any plan of study. So never assume that you can't go abroad as a student in the Warner College. The top destinations for Warner students include Mexico, where we have several programs at the Todos Santos Center in Baja California Sur, as well as places like New Zealand, Ecuador, Spain, Kenya. So you can see that Warner students are really able to go all over the world. These are certainly not the only places you can go. This is just a top 5 list. If you come in and meet with us and tell us where in the world you're interested in going, we'll work with you to find the right program. One of the ways that we can help you find a program is through what we call recommended programs. Nearly every CSU department now has an approved recommended programs list. We created these lists in partnership with the academic departments, so with the faculty and advisors in each department. Together, we looked at hundreds of programs all over the world, reviewed the coursework available through each program, and developed a list of programs with robust course offerings for each area of study specifically. By no means are these the only programs that you can look into, but it's a great place to start because you can be confident that if a program is on this list, there are multiple courses that could fulfill your degree requirements as part of that program. As always, be sure to communicate with your academic advisor or your ASC about your academic needs, and in partnership with our office, we can find the right program for you. To find recommended programs for your area of study, you can visit the CSU Education Abroad website and click on recommended programs right at the top of the page. From there, select the Warner College of Natural Resources, and you'll find this list of academic departments. Find your department, click the link to see a customized list of programs recommended just for your area of study. Let's talk through just a small sample of the programs on these recommended programs lists so you can get an idea of the types of experiences that you can have abroad. Again, by no means are the programs that we're going to talk through the only programs available. It's just a sample. I just want to give you an idea of what's available. The first program I want to talk about is Fish, Wildlife, and Conservation Biology in Todos Santos, Mexico, the study center that I've talked about just a little bit earlier. This is a winter break program with 2 sessions, one from January 2nd to the 14th, and one from January 4th to the 16th. So a little offset, 2 different times that you can go over winter break. This program is what we call a staff and faculty-led program. That basically means a CSU staff or faculty member is leading a group of CSU students abroad together, and you're taking a CSU course while you're abroad. This course attached to this program will satisfy the Fish, Wildlife, and Conservation Biology major's wildlife elective or a technical elective. On this program, you'll engage in topics related to research techniques used to study fish and wildlife populations in the communities that they inhabit. During field-based experiential learning excursions, students will learn about marine, island, shore, and desert ecosystems. The unique and accessible wildlife in Baja California Sur includes whales, whale sharks, sea turtles, sea lions, reef fish, unique birds, and reptiles. Students will have the opportunity to learn about the natural history of fish and wildlife species, understand wildlife management and conservation history, and identify common and contrasting wildlife management practices so that they might integrate wildlife ecology principles into management actions. The next program I want to talk about is called Culinary Tourism. This program takes place in the Tuscany region of Italy, and it is a summer program typically from mid-May to early June. It's another staff and faculty-led program. So again, a CSU staff and faculty member leading a group of CSU students abroad, and you're taking a CSU course while you're in Italy. This course will give participants direct exposure to the world's trending topic of culinary tourism in the heart of Tuscany. Students will learn the fundamentals of this topic and gain insight into how Italian culinary tourism experiences are delivered by local entrepreneurs. Along this journey, students will taste and learn how to make Italy's prized products like cheese, wine, beer, olive oil, gelato, chocolate, and pasta. Sign me up. When do we leave? The next program I want to talk about is called Marine Ecotourism. This is another summer program, typically in late May, and it takes place in the Bahamas. Again, it is a staff and faculty-led program. You can sail and snorkel the crystal clear waters of the Bahama Islands while living aboard a 57-foot sailing vessel. Students will explore key issues in the sustainable development of marine ecotourism in the Exumas, Bahamas. The program will focus on coral reef ecology and conservation, and how local Bahamian cultures interact with the sea, nature conservation, and tourism development. Next, I want to talk about a really unique program called Earth University. This is located in Costa Rica and really takes place over the course of the entire summer. There are 2-week sessions offered throughout the summer. There are 4 in total. You can take part in 1 session, 2 sessions, all 4 sessions, whatever you would like to do. Through Earth University, you can learn about sustainability, community development, sustainable agriculture, and more during these 2-week summer sessions. Along with an intimate group of students from other U.S. institutions, participants will work with local farmers to implement sustainable agriculture practices, stewardship, and social justice. Students will receive training from professionals at one of the most prestigious universities devoted to sustainability in the world, and complement their studies with visits to volcanoes, rainforests, or beaches on the Pacific and Caribbean coasts of Costa Rica. Students gain hands-on experience with course topics as they take learning outside of the traditional classroom and into the farms and forests in rural Costa Rica. The last program that I want to highlight today is called Summer at Sea. It's a relatively new program with 2 different voyages over the summer. The first takes place in early June. The second takes place in late June and into early to mid-July. For this summer, voyage 1 in early June will be in Scandinavia and the Arctic Circle. And voyage 2, a little later at the end of July, or at the end of June and early July, will travel along the Pacific coast of the Americas from Panama up to Alaska. The format of this program, you'll take CSU coursework while aboard the boat, which is really cool. As I mentioned, it's a relatively new short-term program, jointly administered by the Institute for Shipboard Education and Peace Boat. While aboard the Peace Boat passenger vessel, the Pacific World, you can earn up to 6 credits, 3 per session, through Colorado State University. So again, you're taking CSU courses. 2 voyage sessions, each visiting 5 ports of call, will be offered each summer. Students live, take coursework, and travel aboard the Peace Boat as part of a unique shipboard community comprised of students, faculty, and staff exploring at least 5 different countries. Voyage itineraries will vary from summer to summer, so the Scandinavia and Arctic Circle voyage and the Pacific Coast voyages are not going to be the same every single summer. So be sure to check out their website or our website for more information if you're interested in a future summer. Okay, so now that we've seen some examples of the types of programs that you can explore, let's talk a little bit about how going abroad actually works. One of the big questions we get is about how credits work. This question really kind of depends on the type of program you're on, but we're here to help you work through the entire process. CSU offers over 100 different programs that give students CSU credit, such as the staff and faculty-led programs that I talked about earlier. Students can easily see if these CSU credits included in a particular program will work for their specific degree plan. Many other programs offer transfer credits through another institution. For transfer credits, there's really a 2-step process in ensuring that credits will work for your degree, both of which take place long before you depart, so you can have confidence in how the courses you take abroad will transfer back to CSU. First, you have to have your coursework reviewed by the CSU Registrar's Office. They will determine how many credits each course is worth, and if each course qualifies as upper or lower division credits. Second, your academic department will determine how the coursework will fulfill your specific degree requirements. With these approvals, you'll know if these credits will keep you on track to graduate in a timely manner. And as I mentioned, you'll know all of this long before you ever leave. I know like this sounds like a complex process, but we have an easy step-by-step process that we can walk you through. This process really functions through what we call our transfer credit form, which you can see here. Once you find a program, if it involves transfer credit, you'll complete this form with courses that you're considering taking abroad. You'll submit the form to the CSU registrar, which is clearly outlined how to do that. And from there, the form will be routed to your academic department and then finally back to our office. You'll be looped into this email chain as the form makes the rounds, so you always know where we are in the process, and you'll have a completed signed copy of the form once it's fully reviewed. The transfer credit form is just one step in the process of going abroad with CSU. As I mentioned earlier, just know our entire staff is here for you throughout the process. You can visit the Start Here page on the Education Abroad website to see a step-by-step toolbox for how to find a program, apply, and prepare to go abroad. And in addition to the resources on our website and in our office, there are several systems of support to assist you in planning to go abroad. Throughout the process, you'll work with our office, your academic advisor or ASC, and your program leader, program advisor, or partner organization, depending on the type of program that you go on. Together, we'll provide you with all the support that you need to navigate the process. Our office has a wonderful team of coordinators who specialize in different regions of the world and different staff and faculty-led programs. Which coordinator you work with will really be based on your program of choice. You're always welcome to meet with different coordinators in our office as you go through the process of exploring various programs around the world and work through your decision-making process. If you haven't decided where you'd like to go abroad or what program you'd like to participate in, don't worry. Our office also provides general advising to help you explore possibilities and ask the right questions to really help you focus in on the programs that fit your needs. Our office also has 3 peer advisors who are critical members of our team. Our peers have all gone abroad with CSU and are a tremendous resource to you as a CSU student. Our peers have open advising hours throughout the week, during which you can meet with them to learn more about the student experience and a student perspective of being abroad. To learn more about our peer advisors or to check out their open advising schedule, you can visit the Contact Education Abroad page on the EA website. Did you know that the majority of your scholarships, grants, loans, and financial aid can go abroad with you? To learn more about this, you can join us every day of the fair at 9:30 a.m. for a financial aid and scholarships presentation. We just had one at 9:30 this morning. There'll be another presentation at 9:30 tomorrow. There you can meet our colleagues in financial aid, Cindy and Evelyn. They work in the Office of Financial Aid specifically with students going on education abroad programs. The presentation will focus on scholarships, financial aid, how to fund your opportunities abroad, and the session is live, so bring questions. Scholarships will really rarely fully fund your program, but they can definitely close the gap between your current financial aid and what you'll need to go abroad. We also have scholarship and fundraising workshops throughout the year, so you can find and obtain even more funds. You can make an appointment with the Financial Aid for Education Abroad advisors by going to the Financial Aid and Scholarships page under the Student section of the Education Abroad website. At an appointment, you can look at your current financial aid package, specifically the grants, loans, and scholarships you already received, and they can give you an idea of what of that money you can take abroad with you. It's a really good idea to talk with financial aid before deciding on a program or as part of the process of deciding on a program, so they can help you determine if programs you're interested in are a good fit for your budget. So that's an overview of short-term programs for Warner students and going abroad with CSU. If you're interested in going abroad, which hopefully you all are, here are some next steps that you can take to get started. First, plan out what classes you need to graduate, work with your academic advisor, visit the Start Here page. Like I said, step-by-step toolbox on preparing to go abroad. Research different programs online. Our website has a tremendous search tool where you can filter by just about anything imaginable. Make an appointment with an education abroad coordinator, either for general advising, or if you've identified a region or a program, you can meet with that specific advisor as well, and then apply for programs and scholarships. You can also see our website at the bottom of this slide. If you're interested in going abroad, come meet with our office. We can definitely help you find a program that fits for you. If you're ready to schedule an appointment with a coordinator, just look at the Contact Education Abroad page on our website to make an appointment through Navigate with any of us. I do want to say before we wrap up, in addition to this presentation, we definitely encourage you to attend both the Education Abroad 101 presentation I mentioned earlier and the Financial Aid and Scholarship presentation that I mentioned earlier. Both occur every single morning of the fair. So tomorrow morning at 9, there will be an Education Abroad 101. At 9:30, there will be a Financial Aid and Scholarships presentation. In addition, if you've missed a session or want to learn more, you can head over to the CSU International Programs YouTube channel or our fair website on the EA Education Abroad website, where you can find all the recordings of sessions that have already happened this week and more. In addition, I wanted to highlight 2 upcoming sessions that some of our affiliate partners are presenting that may be particularly relevant to your interests. The first is called The World is Your Classroom, How to Choose the Right Seat. This session is all about how to pick the right program for you. The second session is called Social Justice in a Global Context. This session will discuss social issues in various cultural contexts and how our international travel and the choices we make can impact the push for equity and justice around the world. Lastly, earlier this week, there was a session called Environmental Research Abroad. If you missed this session, you can watch the recording anytime on the CSU International Programs YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and search for CSU International Programs. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate the time. I enjoyed the last 20 minutes talking about Warner students going abroad with you. If there's any questions, we'll have a couple minutes for those now.
I think we're all good on the sessions, on the questions.
All right, perfect. Thanks, George.